In the code, I start by creating the Nusbio device instance. Then I'm going to create a timeout triggering every half second so I can query the sensors. Then I need an MCP3008 instance so I can talk to the chip. That's the chip that is here. It is an SPI device, therefore we need 4 GPIO as mentioned in the previous video. We have select, MOSI, MISO, and the clock. Then I'm going to call the method begin. Once the object AD is initialized, I can query the MCP3008 chip for the current value for each of the 8 analog to digital ports. Here I define my temperature sensor object. The physical temperature sensor is located on the breadboard here and is connected via the white wire to analog port 5. Then I initialize the motion sensor object. The physical motion sensor is here connected via the green wire to analog port 6. And finally the light sensor, which is here and is connected via the brown wire to analog port 7. For the light sensor, I define the different level of light this way. If the value red is between 0 and 100, it is dark. If the value is between 101 and 299, it is office night. Between 300 and 400, it is office day. And if the value is between 401 and 1000, I call it outdoor light. Then I'm going to enter the Nusbio loop, and every half a second the program will query for the value of each sensor and display some information. For the light sensor, I first call the method read of the AD object and read the value in port 7. Then I pass the value to the light sensor object and call the property calibrated value, which will tell me if it's dark, if it's night light, or if it's daylight. I also display the raw value. For the temperature sensor, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to call the method read for the port 5. Then I'm going to pass the value to the object analog temp sensor and then call the method get temperature with the right unit. I want Fahrenheit and I want Celsius. I'm also displaying the raw value. For the motion sensor, we're going to read the value in port 6 and then pass the value to the analog motion sensor object and call the method motion detected. I only really care here about two states, motion detected or none, and we'll display the information. Let's run the app and let's start with the light sensor. I'm going to turn off all the lights, 1 and 2. And now I'm going to put my finger on the light sensor. As you can see now, we are detecting that the type of light is dark. If I remove my finger, we're now going back to what is called office night. I'm going to turn one first lamp on here, and now we move from office night to office day. I'm going to turn a second lamp on here, and now we're consider that as outdoor sunlight. This is how the light sensor works. For the temperature sensor, it's easy. We just have to read the value on the screen, 27 Celsius, 79, 80 Fahrenheit. Let's switch to the motion sensor. What I'm going to try to do right now is not to move. My mouth is outside of the range of the sensor. But if I move my hand over the motion sensor, the program detects a motion. One more time. There can be up to half a second delay because we only query the sensor every half a second. But this type of motion sensor store and keep the motion detected state for about 2 or 3 seconds. Therefore, querying every half a second is acceptable.